All right, guys, we're gonna do something I don't typically do because I think it would be fun. Or I guess I've already done it, but I guess it was fun. I thought it would be fun, and that's that. I'm gonna do a testing showcase. I don't typically do this. I typically leave that to other creators, but I thought it could be kind of fun. So what we're doing today is we're gonna check out the new Blessing Stone INTUIT, and this one caught my eye because I think there's a lot of potential with it, because you can take and use this thing in a lot of different pieces of content, and I think it's going to be really valuable there. And so here's what it is and what it does. So I haven't even seen the max level. I've got this, but the purple one, attack increases by 6 for every 1 point. Oh, up to a max of 1200. Son of a gun, this is crazy. Oh, this is disgusting. So here's something fun. I'm gonna tell you right now, I didn't even think about this. I didn't even talk about this or realize this when I finished the video, because again, I've already recorded all the testing stuff. What you're gonna see from here is me later. So at purple level, it's up to a maximum of 700. And I came to the conclusion that the damage output at a purple level was relatively the same. It was like, I think it was like 97 or so, 95 or 97% the same damage as a full attack build. Okay. And so basically putting the 175 points that you need, and you guys are going to see that, into intelligence. But the difference is that you also were getting the cooldown there. So over the long haul, the extra cooldown should make up for that by a lot, right? But this, I can tell you flat out, up to a max of 1200 is disgusting, and I'm pretty positive that this is going to be more than enough to wipe this out. I mean, this is kind of crazy. So what is this? Is this, I'm really bad at math. Like that was my worst thing in general. So what is this, 200 points? Is that 200? I could be right about that. Is that 200? Do you just need 200 points? Yeah, okay, so you just need 200? I mean, that was super easy, but I still felt unconfident with it. You just need 200. Wow. Wow. To get 1200 points off that? So basically what it is, by the way, is it's a 1-to-1 of the strength stat. At least that's the way it seems like it's described here. Your basic attack increases. It doesn't say a basic attack damage, your basic skill damage. It doesn't say anything like that. It increases your attack. And I think the design choice here is to make it to where you don't have to go full strength. I think they realized most people were playing full strength. So yeah, that one is, I could tell already, especially based on what I've done today, that you guys are going to see in a minute. I didn't even consider the legendary version. That legendary version is far and away better than full strength, because I thought this setup right here currently was close enough to a full strength build. By the way, guys, Netmarble did give out nearly 2,000 Essence Stone codes. Or 2,000, 1,000 Essence Stone codes that I can give you guys. So this is not something I can give you throughout the video. All you have to do is go to the link in the description, click the support button on my profile page, and when you're presented with that option, press support, of course. And over the course of the next day, I'll send it to you, because what happens is I go in and I manually send it out. Here's a coupon code, but this one is not going to work for anybody watching. But I've already sent it out to the supporters that are already supporting me. All I go in and do is click your thing and send it, and it'll wind up right directly in your gift box. Not only that, though, you'll get a bunch of other rewards here before they start expiring in a week here. They're going to start expiring in a week. So make sure you get in and get your rewards, not only the Essence Stones, but much, much more by supporting me. Link in the description. Also, if you guys are on King Arthur by chance, another Netmarble title, I'm also a creator with them, and somebody could be my first supporter. They just opened it up, so I'll leave that in the description as well. Of course, there will be awesome freebies there too. All right, so quick warning, I am not as good at testing in this game this way. I typically like, to be honest, I like to go in and just see my number difference with my full loadout. Everything as it is. I don't like to strip everything bare and go, but this is more or less how we're going to do it for today's video. I'm not as good as some of my friends that are good at doing this, like Payne or even Zaf, who I can't say is a friend of mine. I just haven't really had opportunity to talk to him. So anyways, this should be fun. Where is this power coming from? What the hell? When Janu's at 50,000, where's this power even coming from? Okay, that's kind of strange, right? Is it actually showing what's it called? The armory now? Is that what that is? If that's been a thing, I have no clue. So here we're gonna do this. Is what we're gonna do. We stripped everything bare. We're gonna see. This is my Sung Jinu setup. The reason why 175 is the intelligence stat increase is because with this blessing stone, this version of it anyway. I don't know if the point. I assume the max number goes up at legendary. I haven't seen it, but basically increases up to a maximum of 700. If you times 4 by 175, that is 700. So any more investment, while it's not a bad thing because it would help with the actual intelligence stuff, it is tapering off your overall damage. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to see the output of the weapon, or the skill of the character, excuse me, my god, of the character, just flat out bare with nothing else there. I just want to see how he performs overall. So I hope you guys enjoy. We're going to see that, and we're going to shift from there. 177, that's way too much. We're going to shift from there, and what we're going to do is we're going to put on the blessing stone. We're going to do all the different things, and we're going to do that all like shortly here. So like I said, we're going to do that, and we're going to jump in right now. I could get him a little bit closer, but this is him at 147, so 6,000 or so below the number that you want to be at to be exactly even. This testing method is going to get pretty hard as you get further into the game. It's going to be pretty hard to do it this way specifically. All right, so we're going to go in. We're going to throw the West Wind first, and we're going to see that number. I'm not going to do all the stopping, pausing, notating, all that stuff. We're just going to take mental notes. And again, there could be flaws in my method. Like I said, I do it a little bit differently, so bear with me. We're going to see it with and without the shadow step. That one was 246. Interesting. Okay. So 246. We're going to reset this because we don't want that extra stack. 246. Actually, does it get the bonuses per individual stack up to a maximum of 5? Is that how that works? It's been so long since I used West Wind now. Now that they actually dropped good SSR wind weapons. or to be fair, buffed the original one. All right. So we're going to now do the shadow step into that and go from there. That was not what I thought it was. Okay, yeah, that worked out great. There we go. $266 with the shadow step. Okay, so roughly a minimal increase, which is what you'd expect. I mean, it was a good increase given what's available on this team and stuff, but nothing like, it didn't like double in damage, of course. All right, so let's go in now. We're going to just simply put that blessing stone on. That's just base. We're going to simply put the blessing stone on, and we're going to do one more really quickly where he's got the full attack investment in instead of intelligence, and we're going to just compare the numbers there. So it was what, 250 or so. I can obviously go back and look at the footage, as you guys can do as well. So we're going to, I don't even have an ultimate on. Not that it matters. I don't need this either. Where is it? Okay, so we're gonna go in and put it on now. Perfect. That's gonna give me like 600 power actually, so I will get a little bit stronger technically, but it shouldn't make a huge difference. All right, so now this will give me the extra attack increase because we've got intelligence investment. So I think this is where this is gonna be really cool. I think in certain pieces of content, but the main thing is the cooldown. It's gonna chop like 4 points off the cooldown, something like that. With that amount of investment for the skills, like what? Look at Westwind's skill cost. It's gonna be like 4 cheaper. Yeah, it's at 13, 258. So nothing. Actually, what was it? 260 no crit with the shadow step, I think is what it was. This is why you notate, so I could give you the live commentary. I think it was about 260 live, with no crit. And before it did crit, that would be insane if it did. And that was the number it settled on. Let's see what it does here. All right, we want the shadow step. 330. Ooh, that's a nice jump. That's a nice jump. I'm gonna have to confirm crits or otherwise. Because that, again, that's why you notate. I instantly see why you notate. I thought I could go in here and do mental memory. No, I see instantly why you notate. 330 there. So how I expect this to go when we put full strength on is I expect the number to look roughly the same. And if it's anywhere in the same vicinity, INTUIT is just better. INTUIT is just better if it's anywhere in the same vicinity at all. So I'll take this off. I mean, I could leave it. It doesn't do anything if I don't put any. If I literally put nothing in intelligence, it doesn't do anything. Actually, ironically, I think actually ironically, it's that's still that 10 intelligence points may still technically buff me a little bit. Is that how that works? I mean, that's not like a crazy, it's still a decent amount of attack gain, to be honest. Right? You're basically, for every 1 point of intelligence, we technically start with 10. Do those count or not? I guess we'll never know. That's really funny because you're getting what, 40 there? The extra attack. You're getting 40 extra. I guess I could test that. I'm not going to though. I'm not going to. I'll just take it off, man. Is there something else I can put on here that's not going to really... Your target's break age instantly decreases. Yeah, sure. Just give me back the power. That's fine. Yeah, that doesn't do anything here. All right, let's go in. I do those 10. I don't know, because it doesn't say the points that you specifically put in aside from the 10 that you start with. It doesn't deliberately say that. Shall we? So that's kind of funny. A 40 attack is nothing insane, but that's just funny to think about. All right. So let's start off with non, of course. And 279. So more than the first time there. I'm gonna have to just go in and see the damages. 279 right there. But again, the trade-off is the 4 cooldown points. Like, that's massive. That's pretty massive. I mean, you could argue if you want to use Reawakening instead, that you could do that. You could do Reawakening and the other one and not really compromise much on your offense. Why does the camera keep doing this? What the fuck? Freaking janky ass camera. All right. Oh, he moved away. 301 there, huh? Okay. Interesting. Am I messing up and being too far away? Is that could be a thing? I'm not keeping track of that. That could be a thing. Let me try this one more time because he did move away. Let's go. And then we'll have to go through and see the variance with him without crits, because I could be getting crits too. Not the best. I don't do this very often, so you can absolutely tell. Not the best testing, but at least I can settle on some numbers. 279. Interesting. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna just log what we had. 279 right there. I'm gonna go in and log what we had, and I'll come right back. All right, so within reason, I think that we got some good information here. So quick disclaimer, I may have not done this perfectly setup wise. I thought that it worked out pretty good, you know, because we did have largely the same stats across the power across the board, and we were pretty close overall to the boss's power. But that being said, the main thing is I don't really understand the 5 meter thing. If it says it gets you an extra attack increase of 75% if there are no enemies within a 5 meter range. If that applies only with there only being 1 enemy on the board, and if I was too far away, then I would have triggered that 75%. 5 meters is about what, 16 feet? I just looked it up. It's kind of hard to tell that distance within a game. So basically, you need to be right up on the boss to make sure you're not triggering that. So with that being the case, I don't think it procced too often. But here are the numbers that we settled on for this video. So raw intelligence, strength stats, and no blessing, which was the very first run, with no shadow step and no crit, I got 246k. I didn't get any crits throughout the video. With shadow step, that spiked to 266k with no crit, of course. So the extra 20k increase there. So most of the time I had roughly the same distance. I did go back and look at that. The one I wasn't so sure about was this one here. Or no, not that one. This one, the full attack one. This is why, again, I tried it twice. So here's the main thing. INTUIT on with no shadow step was 259k. No crit, of course. And again, the only difference between that run and the second run is the fact that we've got the blessing stone on, adding more attack, because we had the exact same stat distribution between these first 2 tries. And then 330 with no crit with the shadow step. That was a massive jump. In fact, I'll actually try that one more time because that's a massive jump, because the shadow step difference here is not very big, but it's pretty big. I guess it gets more sizable as you go, right? Because there's no crit here. Well, I'll make sure I'm like right up on the boss for this just to make sure. But no shadow step with the full attack build, no blessing on, or the other blessing on. No shadow step, no crit was 279. That's the base number. So that's actually higher than this number. So that's pretty high. With the shadow step on the first try, it was there. And on try 2, it was 279 again. So that's interesting to see that variance there. It starts at 279, kind of ends at 279 regardless. I'm not sure if on that last try I triggered the shadow step. So I will retest though with the shadow step on this full attack set. We're going to do that really quick. And I'll give you just a flat number for that. And then I'll go in with the blessing stone one more time. Okay, let's get the shadow step going.
It's no use.
I'm gonna stay right up on him. And that's 337 with the shadow step. Okay. No crit, shadow step, 337. Perfect. Yeah, because that was, it looked a little weird. 337k is the number for that. So we'll do that. And we'll go in and we'll flip his stuff back, which is the way I would like to be anyway, because I felt like INTUIT was pretty good. Because again, regardless, if the damage is a little bit lower, that's fine, because the cooldown, I think, will make up for it. So we're going to just reset this back to 165 plus the 10, and then give the rest all over to strength. Okay. And we'll flip back to blessing. And that's all we're doing. That's all we're doing. Okay. Just confirm. Perfect. Okay. That was not a shadow step. That was also not a shadow step. Okay. He kind of moved away at the end there. That's fine. Let me retry this one more time.
It's pretty strong.
Dude, what is up with this janky camera? This time he jumped. Stop changing your moves, dude. Son of a... Stop changing your goddamn moves. Oh, it didn't let me dodge that one. Okay, this dude's pissing me off changing his damn attacks. Third time's the charm. Goodness, man. Let me stand still. Okay, he's still changing attack. Finally. Okay, let's go for this. And 323. So roughly about the same number. I was a smidge further away. Roughly about the same number. Roughly about. I'm going to try one more time.
He's stronger than I imagined.
Okay, that one was me. I'm just being really bad. That one was me. All right, he finally did what I wanted to. 287 is nasty work. 287 is nastiest of the nasty work. I'm not even sure how he did 287. That is the nastiest of the nasty.
An opening.
6. Oh my god. One freaking stack of Westwind makes this weapon go crazy on a crit. Hello? That's crazy, dog. No full charge, of course. What the hell?
Time for a counter. It's no use.
303. Okay, so there's some variance. That's not terribly surprising. There was always going to be variance. If I try the other setups more often, I'm sure there's more variance there too. Dude, I was gonna say point the wrong way or the right way. I'm sure that if I try other setups, there's more variance to be had there. That's not surprising. But I was just going one hit and moving on. So what I'll deem this as, because we weren't actually able to hit the same number that we hit earlier, ironically. I don't think we hit 330 once. So what I'll deem this as is it looks like it's mostly the same between these two. But if there's a difference, it's marginal. I don't think it's anything crazy. I think it's a marginal difference. that I do think, again, I do think is made up for by literally 4 cooldown points being peeled off. I think that's a massive thing. I think 4 points being pulled off is massive. So that's what I think is the case here. So to me personally, I think this is the better build, to me personally. But I do see why and how it could be close enough to think otherwise. I also do think that, you know, at a higher level, it would be better, of course. That's obvious. And I can see how with other weapons and things like that, it could be kind of tricky to say that you want to run this. Maybe you're not getting enough attack. Maybe you don't have a high enough load, whatever it is. But for me, I do think that while it wasn't absolute conclusive evidence, because we'd need to spend more than just 10 minutes looking at it, I think, I do think that that was pretty straightforward to me. That if it's, like I said in the beginning, if it was anywhere close, that's good enough for me, which is what I think we saw today, is that it's just close, and that's fine. So that's the way I'm coping. But in all seriousness, again, I haven't even talked about the MP gain, because I don't know that that's the craziest thing, but the cooldowns of about 4 points coming off is pretty huge. And that's just for these weapon skills. You got to factor in the other skills as well. I'm not even talking about them and how this could impact them. I assume it also pulls, what, 4 off of these two? In which case, if it's pulling 4 off of these two, I think that's huge. Let me just put this on and go in, but I think that's pretty huge if it's pulling 4 off of those. What's this, base 20? This is base 20, yeah. If it's pulling that off, that's pretty massive.
Visual.
I also went through the entirety of my Sung Jinu, the new story with Sung, and I used that the entire way. Let's just see I guess I chose the wrong skill for this. The worst one. Okay, yeah, so that's it chopped it down. I'd assume that with this skill, since it was already going, it already had the cooldown timer going, I assume that's how this one works. That's why I said I think this is the worst one to choose. But regardless, it brought it all the way down to where it's usable again. So more or less, I think it's pretty massive that it did that. Yeah, it's pulling 4 off. That's really good. Okay, I'll take it. I mean, for me, I think that's huge. So that's what I have to say today, guys. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you are new to this channel for more content, as well as clicking that notification bell so you don't miss anything we upload here on the channel. Once again, sorry if I'm not the best tester, but I hope that you guys got out of this video what you needed to see and reach the same conclusion that I did. If you disagree, of course, feel free to let me know. And thank you so much. I'll see you all in the next one.